Well, hello, my lovely, luscious lions. How are you, my gorgeous ones? I hope I have this mic correct. I may have to turn it down a little bit. Sorry about that. So, my gorgeous ones, this is a little bit different format. We have the eclipse going on right now. I tried to get these out before yesterday, but my voice just wasn't cooperating. I was starting to get breathy and you couldn't hear me, and so I had to stop taping. So, my gorgeous ones, this is what's going on. I thought I'd do this format, and let me know in the comments below whether you like it or not. I'm open to suggestions. I wanted you guys to see what I'm looking at when I'm kind of putting everything together for you guys and maybe give you a visual. So, we have this eclipse going on in Aquarius. So, Aquarius is right here. See this eclipse? And the eclipse is about new beginnings and gains. It's with the new moon, so we have a new moon on top of it. So it's gains, new beginnings, that karmic, that destiny stuff, right? So welcome everybody. My name is Cindy. I am the modern day spiritual advisor. I use multiple modalities, including tarot and astrology and mediumship and all kinds of stuff, hypnotherapy, to help you on your path. So thank you so much for watching. If my voice goes out, I am so sorry. And if I have to cough, I am sorry. But I wanted to get these out because I have a whole new series that I'm going to be doing this next couple weeks. I'm going to be introducing each sign and what I love about them. And then we're going to move on to the houses and the planets and all kinds of stuff from there. Okay? So let's talk about you guys. So this is you, Leo, down here. And the eclipse is happening over here in Aquarius. So when I'm looking at it, Leo is first. That's your first house. So then I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the eclipse is happening in your 7th house. Now let's talk about what eclipses mean. So eclipse is like, you can think of it as eclipsing that energy and taking you to almost 0 point energy, where there's a lot of energy. Now at 0 point energy, we can go wherever we want to go with a thrust, with some oomph, right? It'll sort of launch you in the direction that you're wanting to go. But remember, what we think we are, right? So what are your intentions? What's your intention? What's your focus? And what's your thought, right? So your thought, your intention, and your focus is where it's going to launch you in these next 3 months, right? Especially at this eclipse right now. It's launching you wherever your thoughts are, wherever your intentions are, and wherever your focus is, okay? In this 7th house. The 7th house is about relationships. So with the 7th house having Aquarius in it, let me talk about Aquarius for a minute. Pardon me if I have to cough. So Aquarians have this way. They're a lot like you guys, except for Leos are very comfortable with being the center of attention and having all eyes on them. Where Aquarians want that, they don't mind it, but they won't go looking for it, and they don't do it as boldly as you guys, right? So they can be like the quiet leader. They can be a loud leader too, but so Aquarian energy is, Aquarians have this gift of being able to bring everyone and everything sort of together and progress it forward, right? Like humanitarianism. They're very good at connecting everyone and everything. And they're really good at being and allowing you to be what you're needing, right? So they're very sociable. They're very sweet. They're extremely intelligent like you guys. They're very personable. They're very generous like you guys. And they speak their truth. They speak the truth. So Aquarians have this way of, if you ask them the question, they're going to tell you the truth. Otherwise, they'll just let you assume, right? That's kind of how they are. And they will test. So you could be finding in the 7th house of relationships, you testing, because that's Aquarian energy. They're very futuristic in their belief, and they love science and technology. And they have this understanding of, it's more than spirituality, but spirituality is sort of the word that we can associate with it, and or new age. And they're very compassionate, empathetic, and they have a love for the whole of the group and humanity, right? So that's sort of the higher vibration or the more evolved vibration of Aqua. And with this eclipse happening in the 27th degree, that's sort of that energy. But we have our conscious, our free will. So it kind of depends on what you're going to allow, what you're going to glean from that, from Aquarius house. Are you going to glean from the more evolved vibration, or are you going to glean from the lesser evolved vibration? And so a lesser evolved Aquarius, or a young Aqua, as you can call them, they can be heartless, and they can be cynical, and they can be cold, and they can be moody and distant and detached, right? They have a fear of intimacy, and they have a fear of attachment. So depending on where you are, they can lack because they're of the younger unevolved self. They can lack tenderness, and they can lack respect for others. And yeah, those two are really important. So kind of depends on you, Leo. What are you doing in this house? So let's talk about what the 7th house is. The 7th house is about relationships of all kind, not just the love romantic relationships. We're talking about all types of relationships. The relationships you have with your family, the relationships you have with your friends, the relationships you have with your business partners, the relationships you have with your coworkers, the relationship you have with money, the relationship you have with things, the relationship you have with yourself. So the 7th house is a really interesting house. You can think of it as the house of understanding where your boundaries are and your relationships are. And so you won't know what it is that you're wanting or needing, or where that boundary needs to be, unless that person or thing comes in front of you, right? So you could be having that happening in the next 3 months, where this energy is prominent. Now, the lunar eclipse that just happened in your house, in the 1st house, right? So we still have the energy of that going on. So for 45 days, especially for 45 days, but up to 6 months, and even up to a year for some of you, depending on your chart, depending on where you're at in life, this energy will be prominent for 45 days at least, where you will have the lunar and the full moon energy, and then you'll have the solar and the new moon energy, right? So the new moon or the full moon was about completions. It's about completions, it's about understanding, it's about destiny, it's about changes, right? Or fated stuff. And then you have the north node here. So the north node is when it's in a house or wherever it's at, it sort of makes you want to understand it, want to figure it out more. So you could sort of get obsessed with your 1st house. Your 1st house is about your identity. It could be about your marriages and your divorces. It has to do with your body, your image, your identity here in this world. So you could be dealing with those things. There could be some completions in those things. There can be some abrupt changes in those things, because this has to do with fated destiny stuff. So I'll give you an example. If there is a relationship that you know you shouldn't be in, but you don't want to face it because you don't want to hurt their feeling, well, guess what? Some fated stuff could be happening, because if it's on your path to not be with that person, if it's your destiny to find this other person and it's time, then guess what? It could be a disruption. It could be a big disruption. It's not something that you didn't know was going to happen. You know it was going to happen eventually. You just didn't know it was going to happen that way, right? So that's what I mean. That's just an example. So in your 7th house, this is about gains. This is about your goals. This is about, again, fated and destiny stuff, right? So for the next 3 months, as you're releasing and completing, you'll be gaining. Because I've said this before and I'll say it again. In our whole selves, in our higher being, in our energetic being, we can have unlimited amounts of energy run through us. But in our physical selves, in this physical realm with the laws of the universe, there is only so much energy that can run through us. And that is the life that we have, the world around us, because everything is energy. It's our cars, it's our homes, it's our coworkers, it's our clothes, it's our food, it's everything, right? And so if there is energy that you are holding on to, whether it's a situation that you forgot about or a situation that you know you should get through, but you're not letting go. You're not looking at it. Whether it's something that you completely forgot about and kept on going, and now you forgot it was there, but you're still holding on to it. All that is energy you're holding on to, because you only have so much energy that can run through you. If you're holding on to this stuff, there's no room, or there's not enough room for your abundance in this house. There's not enough room for that wonderful business partner that's going to help you make millions. There's not room for that wonderful life partner that's going to come in and be your exact match. There's not room for the family members in the situations that you wanted to get through or that you think should be better. There's not any of that room because you're holding on. Make sense? So this is what you'll be going through. Pardon me, I have to cough again. This is what you'll be going through, especially in the next 3 months. So as you release, you'll make room for your abundance and your gains and those relationships that you're wanting. And it's not just about releasing. When you release here, it's about understanding and growing here, right? So that energy can flow through. I'm not saying to let it go, cut it off. I'm just saying let it flow, understand it, so that it can go, and then you can grow and have more abundance, so your light can be bigger, right? So if you thought about what was happening 6 months ago, I did videos on this, especially with Leo. I did the solar eclipse, lunar eclipse Leo video. I'll have the link down below or on the side at the end of this video. And also, I have the full moon steps to take to release old energy, and the new moon steps to take to manifest, so that you can manifest in your first house. Your first house is your identity, so it could be about your money. It could be about anything that you're really passionate and comes from your heart, because it's your identity. That's your first house. So wherever your focus and intention is, that's what you want it to be in this eclipse right now, in this next 3 or 4 days especially. Don't be thinking about what you don't have and who did and blah, 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 because that's going to launch you in that direction. But if you think about what you want and how you see yourself and what it is that you're really calling to you, then it's going to launch you in that direction, okay? So remember, thoughts become things. What's your intention and your focus? That's where you want it to be right now. Now, when I'm looking at the 7th house, I'm seeing that Mercury is conjunct to this eclipse. Mercury is a great planet. It moves fast, but it helps you process and communicate what it is that you want. So those things that weren't being very clear in relationships could get really, really clear in like this next month, right? Especially this next month. So they're talking to each other. Conjunct means they're within 8 to 10 degrees of each other, but I like it at 8 degrees. But to me, conjunct means that they're having a conversation and they have to work together, or they're going to work together as they're conversing, and to help you move forward in this house and to help you grow in this house. It's that energy to help you. Okay, so in your second house, in your 8th house, this is your house of debt, other people's money, property, father figures could be in here. You have Venus, Neptune, and it's the Piscean house right now. So it's a very lovely, beautiful house. So things could be sort of going your way, or you could sort of be seeing how things can clear up. Your debt may be clearing up, because Venus has to do with finances. So your debts could be clearing up, or maybe there was a loan that you were wanting that came through, or maybe there was something that you were trying to buy that came through. So whatever this is, it's a really good house for you right now. And what I like is when I'm seeing Venus, this is a sextile to Saturn. And Saturn is in your 6th house. Your 6th house of daily activities, of your work, of your health. And Saturn is that planet that makes you work for it. If you think about Saturn as a planet, it's that last planet that we can see with our visible eye, right? And so as you're seeing that planet, you're like, you can think of that planet as your hopes, your goals, right? You're like, I see my goals, I see my dreams, but they're just out of reach. But if I stretch and if I work, I can bring them to me and I can go get them. That's the energy of Saturn. Now, when I see the sextile, to me, a sextile means opportunity, opportunity, opportunity. So with Venus sextiling Saturn, this could actually bring opportunity to ground and materialize something that's going on in your 8th house. Again, it could be a loan, it could be money, other people's money coming in, it could even be an inheritance. This is other people's money, right? And with this, Venus, Neptune, and Pisces, this is all ethereal. This is all like in the field, in the matrix, what you call in the matrix. So when I see Saturn sextiling, it means it's going to bring something down. It means it's going to bring an opportunity to you. So congratulations with that. In your 6th house of daily activities, you have Saturn with Capricorn. So it's a very Capricorn house right now. It's like you're working hard and you're working hard and you're working hard about trying to balance everything together, right? And you're learning in this house, because this house can be about victimization, like self-victimization, where you can say, well, I always do, and I'm always giving, and I'm always da-da-da-da-da. And nobody, when I need something, nobody ever gives it to me, right? Or nobody's ever there for me. It can become that house if you let it, but you're growing in that house with Saturn and Capricorn. And you'll grow to understand that nobody made you do that. Nobody told you you had to. You can always say no to people, or you can be very direct with people and tell them, yes, I can do this, but I need help with this, right? That's what you learn in this house. So I see that with you having Saturn and Pluto in the 6th house, they're not talking yet, but Saturn is going to get closer to Pluto. Pluto doesn't move as fast as Saturn. So in the next 14, 16 months, I can see where you can have, as it gets closer to Pluto and as you're working hard in this, diligently in this house, that you can have some transformation going on in this house where everything sort of balances it out, where you can get your goals and have the family and have your personal time and smile and laugh too and have your family. I guess family, because I said that twice, must be important for y'all. So, or somebody in this group. So I can see that happening in the next 14 months of that transformation. So that's your 6th house. Now your 5th house of love affairs has, and this is ruled by you usually, but it's got Saggy in there. So Sagittarius is all about integrity, all about the truth, all about making something that's unknown, bringing it to the known, right? And it's got Mars in there. So Mars is that planet that's like, Mars is that planet that has a lot of energy, that it's like, that's the god of war. So it's that planet that, it's a thing that you'll do something and then you'll think about it later and you'll be like, ooh, probably shouldn't have done that, right? So, but you can channel it with Saggy energy and have integrity and have focus and have the things that you're really wanting to get done in this house of creativity, in this house of love affairs, in this house of beauty. So, and Saggy has this thing about understanding that they're worth it too, right? So you could be coming to grips with that. That's one thing that I'm seeing that you're working in this house with, that you can have some things coming through, that you can understand that your heart is special, that you are just as valid as everyone else, and that you need to come from your heart, right? Which is your true self, Leo. It's your true self. So when you're coming from your heart and understanding that you're just as important as everybody else, you're going to create something in this house that's very good for you. Okay? Now, I see that one, that's one way that I see it. I also see it for if your female energy, if your feminine energy, and you're looking for masculine energy, right, as a partner, this is a love affair house. So you can have that come through. Some of you may be meeting somebody in the next, I would say in the next couple months. And especially as Jupiter gets closer to this. When Jupiter gets close to Mars, we have some great things happening. So I would say that this, right now, this house is activated with Mars. So you have a lot of energy about creating. You have a lot of energy about yourself and about the world, and love affairs, and doing something from your heart. Yeah. Not just something, some things from your heart, which in turn helps you with this 8th house and the 7th house of relationships and the 6th house of day-to-day stuff, right? So in your 4th house, though, I'm going to go over this one last thing. In your 4th house, you have Jupiter. And we all know I did the videos about Jupiter Jupiter in your house and where it was going to be and what it was going to be doing. You can look at those as well. So Jupiter is in Scorpio. Scorpio loves mysteries. Scorpio wants to investigate the mystery and figure it out, right? And Jupiter is the guru. Jupiter is the teacher. So Jupiter wants to teach you and expand you in this house. Now this house is about, this fourth house is about your home and family and restructuring. It's about your ancestral lineage. So you can look at it as karma stuff, your relatives you could be dealing with. So it's really expanding you in this house. Now, sometimes, Leo, with your family, you get upset, right? And so this could be really teaching you how to validate yourself and others that are your lineage, that is part of your karma. If you don't want to think of karma, part of your experiences. I can see where if you're going to be stubborn, it's going to teach you. It's going to smack you in the face and teach you. But if you're not being stubborn and you're looking at it, then I can see where you can grow into this beautiful understanding and have these beautiful relationships with your family and friends, like even your friends that you call your family, because it's part of your lineage, your ancestral lineage. Okay? So if you believe in past lives, you could be dealing with a second cousin or a second aunt that was maybe in a past life your sister, right? You never know, but you'll know that connection to somebody. Okay, I know I went off on that a little bit, but I was getting a lot of information. So I can just see over this next year where you're really growing in that. Okay, and that's kind of up to you, Leo. Are you going to be stubborn and not do it and not look at it and let people go over your boundaries? Or are you going to put some boundaries down and stick to it and make it a habit and expand yourself and understand, right? So let's move on to, I did this tarot spread for you guys. Bear with me while I expand that, right? Okay. All right. So I did the spread for the next 3 months for you guys. And listen, if any of you want me to go over your chart with you or want to do your natal chart or your transit, your progressions, you can always, I'll have my website down in the description box below. I'll have everything down in the description box below or on the side at the end of the video. Yeah, to order that. Okay, so in your next 3 months, in your first position, look at you. Look at you, Leo, my beautiful lions. You have the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups, that's you. Knight of Cups comes with offerings. I see you extending your hand out. I see you really opening your heart to yourself and to others. This is the thing, Leo. You're so hard on yourself. You need to just give yourself a break. That's what I'm feeling. Like, just give yourself a break. So what if you don't do it like you think everybody thinks that you should do it? So what if you make a mistake? Quit being so hard on yourself. That's how you're going to become the master, is because you make the mistakes, because you don't always do it the way everybody else does it. That's what's going to make you better. So when you fail at something or make a mistake at something, you know how to get up, but get up and understand that this is part of your growth. It's part of your learning. So be gentle with yourself. They're telling me, you're gentle with everybody else. You allow everybody else. Why can't you allow yourself? Right? So think about it that way. So I don't know why they're going off on you guys, but they are. Okay, I'll try to stick to the program here. So the Knight comes with offerings. So I see that you're offering, but I also see the universe offering. I also see people offering as you open your heart. You're in a very loving state right now. And I think a lot of it has to do with loving you, understanding, really loving you. Not that ego, second chakra loving you, but that fourth pink chakra. Yeah, loving you. Pink. You know, the fourth chakra, the heart chakra, is pink and green. And oftentimes, you'll have a lot of green and no pink. And then you'll have that second chakra really, really, really bright, which means you'll have that ego love and love for humanity and love for everybody else, but barely any love for yourself in that pink chakra. So when I look at your pink chakra, when I go and look at somebody's chakra, I want to see pink and green swirling in balance, okay? And oftentimes I'll just see green and a little bit of pink with you guys. All right, so their advice, Spirit's advice is, and again, I am sorry why they keep going off. Okay, so Spirit's advice is the 7 of coins. That's the second position, but I put it up to the side over there so you guys could see it. So their advice is, the 7 of coins is about all the stuff that you have grown. See the tree that you've grown, see the pentacles that are ready to fall down, see the baskets that you have open, see how you're enjoying yourself. Well, you're enjoying your puppy, you're enjoying the animal beside you, right? Your dog, your puppy, a loved one. But you see how you're looking off? You're looking off in the distant. And so, pardon me. So, this card is about understanding where you are and what you've grown and what you've nourished and what you have, and making the decision because you see what's out there and you're trying to make a decision whether to stay or go. Like, do I make myself uncomfortable and go outside of my parameters and grow more and go for the goals that I want, or should I just stay and enjoy what I have now, right? That's the 7 of coins. And they're saying you have built a lot and neither is the wrong choice. So what if you stay here a little bit and then go, right? Doesn't mean you can't go later. Or if you really feel like going, go. You'll still have these things here. They're ready to, the fruit is ready to fall. The pentacles are ready to fall, right? Into your basket. But if you're going to be here, you see how she's looking off in the distant? And the baskets are just laying there. So the pentacles could fall on the ground, right? Everything that you nourish could fall on the ground. So their advice is, if you're going to stay here, then enjoy and relish in each moment. And if you're going to go, then enjoy and relish in those moments too, right? Sorry, I had a cough or almost had a sneeze. Okay. So that's their advice. Now, where you came from, sorry, but this cursor isn't working in the dark, on the dark part. So where you came from was the world. So the world is under the Knight of Cups. The world is a positive card. The world is about moving from phase to phase to phase, right? And so I kind of feel like even in your move, you had a good transition to whether if you were really emotional, you went to passionate. If you were really passionate, you went to very grounded. If you were very grounded, you went to airy, excitement, out of the box thinking, intelligent, mental, right? So I kind of feel like all of that, wherever you came from and moved into that next phase, helped you open your heart, helped you understand more about yourself, about the world you're creating, about the world you've created, and about the people around you. So I feel like that puts you into the Knight of Cups, where you have your heart open and you're sort of enjoying you, right? All right, so in your fourth position, that world is what brought you to the Knight of Cups. In your fourth position, this is from now to a month, you have the 2 of Swords. So from now to a month, and we can be off a couple of weeks, from now to a month, it looks like there's a decision that you need to make that you're not willing to make, or you don't want to make it because you feel like you don't have enough information, or you're kind of waiting to see if somebody does something and then you can make the decision, right? Or if something happens and something unfolds and then you make the decision, right? So with this card, Spirit always says, you may feel like you don't have enough information, but you really do have all the information you need. And so you're ready to move. I see the swords where you're holding them in your hand. It's almost like you're waiting for them to do it, or you're waiting for the universe to do it before you do it. And they're saying, in these specific things that you are really trying to get through, you need to make a decision about it. You can't wait for the other party or the other thing, because that's what's holding you back. I mean, you can do whatever you want. I mean, we have free will here, but if you're trying to get through these things, you're needing to make a decision about this. And that's what you'll be working through in this next month. So, and this is interesting, because above, in the 5th position, above the Knight of Cups, is the Two of Wands. And the Two of Wands is all about being in the middle. So the 5th position is where I ask your higher self, what is the one message they want to bring through to help you move forward in love? And love to me is that energy that moves through all vibrations, right? So the Two of Wands is about being in the middle, having the wands to take the action, but not doing it, because for all different reasons. One, because you're afraid that you're going to miss out if you go left. If you're afraid that you're going to miss out on the right, or if you go right, you're afraid that you're going to miss out something on the left. And what Spirit says, and your higher self is saying, is that you're not going to miss out on anything, because you never know, if you take the left, if the right won't come back around and intersect with the left, right? Or if you take the right, the left won't come back around and intersect with the right. But what can happen is that you can stay in the middle and be waiting and waiting and waiting, and then get frustrated, and then the same cycle happens, and then you're waiting and waiting and waiting. And so for you to help you move forward from your higher self, they're saying you have enough information. You're not going to be without. Trust yourself and make your choice, okay? So looks like you'll be dealing with that. Now, in your 6th position, just to the right of the Knight of Cups, you have the Sun. And the 6th position is month 2 and 3. So it looks like some of you make this decision, progress forward, take some action. And when you do this, the Sun is all about the universe moving and aligning so that everything comes about for you easily. It's not a hard thing. It's like all of a sudden you know when you feel like you're on your path, and it doesn't like every decision you make when you're on your path, it's like boom boom, it just all opens up and it's the right thing, and things come to you and miracles happen and fated stuff happens. That's what I feel like is going to be happening with you in the next 2 or 3, in month 2 or 3, after you make this decision. So there's a decision or a couple of decisions that you're really having to make. But once you do it, Leo, it looks like it opens up for you and the Sun comes out. Okay? So in your 7th position, that's under the Sun. The 7th position is your fear. And so I feel like some of you, your fear is about not really hearing yourself well, like from your higher self or the universe or God or source or oneness. I feel like some of you, your fear is, am I hearing correctly? Am I not connected enough? Am I doing the right thing? Why hasn't it already come? What did I not do right? That's what I'm feeling like your fear is. But remember, a fear is just there to remind you of what you want and what you don't want. You know what you don't want. You don't want to not be connected. You don't want to not do the right thing. So be connected and come over here in this energy and make the things happen that need to happen. That's just a fear. It's there to bounce off of. All right, so in your 8th position, I'm so sorry, my voice is going again. In your 8th position, this is the way the universe or a loved one will be viewing you and dealing with you. See, they see you as the 8 of Coins, and the 8 of Coins is all about working meticulously and working hard at something that's going to manifest, something that you're going to be the master at, something that you have worked hard to create. And you're almost there. You're at an 8. To me, in the tarot deck, the 9 is completion, not the 10. The 10 is about celebrating the completion and moving to the 1st, right? But the 9 is completion. So you're almost there. And in the next 3 months, this is the coins to me. This is pentacles. This is material stuff. In the next 3 months, I feel like things will be happening materially for you. Okay? So congratulations. I feel like your loved ones will see that as well in you. I feel like they'll see you really bringing those things forth. So in your ninth position, this is your hopes and dreams, but to me, this is that energy that you're bringing in that's just outside your realm. So this is the Justice card. The Justice card is all about balancing you, but it could be about dealing with documents. So if some of you are dealing with divorce, if you're dealing with separation, if you're dealing with a marriage or an engagement, you could be dealing with that in the next 3 months. It's coming in. You could be dealing with, are you moving to a different place? Could be dealing with a car or a loan. Remember, you have the 8th house. So I feel like with the Justice in the next 3 months, that will be coming in, and it will be balanced in your favor if you've had integrity. Okay? So in your 10th position, this is the overall outcome of what you'll be working through in the next 3 months. The 8 of Cups I like for you guys because in the next 3 months, these things that are going to be closing out for you, completing these destiny things, these things that materialize for you, your next phases in life, I feel like as they come in, you see how this person is like walking up the steps and walking away from these things, these cups. These cups were empty, and they didn't see for the longest time that they were empty. And it was a very hard thing for them to walk away from, but they're doing it. And so the 8 of Cups is about you realizing that even though that was so traumatic, and even though that was such a hard thing to walk away from, that you really are not there anymore. You really are here now. And so I feel like for a lot of you, there's going to come a point in the next 3 months, several times for some of you, where you're going to see and feel and know that you're not there, you're here, and that you've done well. Okay? So my gorgeous ones, if you liked what you saw, please subscribe to this channel as it helps me grow and keep this channel open. I love you, love you, love you. Talk to you soon. Bye.